great morning. I have a question. I'm trying to figure out exactly what is being asked here. It's, can we be less manifested sometimes other than other times? So I'm really in the dark as to what is being asked. But I'm taking it to mean, hopefully I've figured this out, do we have less light at some times than other times? Because I talk about, at the center of being is the divine is, okay? And none has more or less than another, okay? So you can cast a shadow over it. We have free will. You can be in denial of it. You can be, the more ego-centered one is, the more one is closing the door to that light and to that going into the flow of the universe, okay? And being in this planet, being in this energy system that we're at here, okay, one has the free will to do that, okay? So in a way you can say yes, you can be less manifested, but it's by your own prerogative of closing out that light, okay? And you may be saying, but I want more light, I want more of those things, but you're looking at it from ego, and ego is what? It is the closing down of that universality of light beyond lights, okay? So it's kind of a conundrum type of thing. Same thing like God, for God to exist, there has to be something other than God, but there is nothing other than God. Everything comes out of it. So again, when you get to realization, and everything dismantles, you see that that's all that exists. So to have God, to see God, to seek for God, one has to feel a separation from, okay, see something other than, that one is reaching out to, okay? But that's why it is the great joke of the universe in the end. When everything dismantles, you see that that's all there is, okay? Everything stems from and goes back to the divine is. So, again, no one has more and no one has less. It's the same, but it just depends on how ego-centered one is, which is having that division, setting up a division that really is never there. It's kind of a blocking, okay, blocking. Everything comes, and the way I like to describe it is the divine is like the light, and you have a light shade, a lamp shade, and you poke holes in it, and what happens? That one light distributes and looks like numerous lights, but it all comes from what? This one source. Well, to be less manifested, it's like putting the shade over it or encapsulating it in a box where no light is escaping, okay? So that box is like ego framework, and depending on how occluded that is, depends on how much light one sees or interacts with or is accepting of, okay? It's the same concept of, we have here the light. We can see the light is half full or half empty. We've got this much light, or this much we can see is occluded. If one is in that framework of mental spin, okay? Because one finds out as well about, what's that called? The quantum physics. Now, when they had the quantum physics experiment, what was really interesting was each scientist knew exactly what this random ball was going to do. Okay, they had that insight, they knew exactly, and that's exactly what it did. But in each case, it was different. So that projection that they had of no ability affected the whole thing. It's the same thing with this. Excuse me, I'm having, again, throat issues this morning. But, yeah, the light is always there, just how much you're open to accessing it and can get ego and this other drama out of the way. Because realization is not about seeking powers and this and that other. Those are stumbling blocks along the way. Those are things of ego. Okay? Ego desires. And when everything dismantles, one finds out that that was really irrelevant in the scheme of things. So I'm going to leave this here and try to get my throat back to where I can speak again. And I'll see you online. Oh my goodness. Well, the good news is I'm at the tail end of this, and this is the last residual drama coming out. It sounds worse than it actually is. So I'll see you online.